Recently, Prime Minister Modi visited Ukraine in the month of August 2024. The visit has been seen very crucial as India is the only country to talk to both Russia and Ukraine after the war has started. This visit is marked as the very important one considering the occasion because it was the National Day of Ukraine. And secondly, last time when Prime Minister Modi visited Russia in the previous month, Russia bombarded Ukraine and that killed many children, and that invited very sharp reactions from the Western nations as well as President Zelenskyy, who said that the Prime Minister of the largest democracy is hugging a war criminal. So this visit is also meant crucial in another terms because India is also balancing out the relationship in between this turmoil. However, the major thing to point out is what Zelensky said after the Prime Minister left the country. Zelensky said that he had taken up with the Prime Minister of India the issue of purchase of oil from Russia. Well, one have to understand that this issue has been brought up by the USA time and again with India because USA does not want India to buy Russian oil. However, India presenting its strategic autonomy and also very rightly said that the prices of oil has gone very high in the international market, and if India have gone to the international market to buy the oil instead of Russia, it would have been a huge burden of debt and the prices of petrol would have been inflated in India a lot. So Zelensky reiterated the same thing that the West has been saying to India, that really pointed out that was this seriously Zelensky only saying this or someone else telling Zelensky to say this. Another thing he said that the Russian President Putin had shown his lack of respect for India as he had got a hospital for children in Ukraine attacked when Modi had been visiting Moscow last month. As again I said, he has been saying those same things, those same words that the West has been saying. As experts have also been pointing out that these are things that are not in sync with the visit and are not in sync with the statements that both the leaders made. In fact, many have even gone to the extent to say that Zelensky is not playing the right game because when India is there, the whole world is watching. He could have done such things that could have favored India and Ukraine both. But these statements are rightly only in favor of the Western nations and not in fact in the favor of even Ukraine. Because reiterating these statements when Prime Minister Modi have himself visited him and also seen those pictures of devastating attacks that the Russia had committed in Ukraine. Nevertheless, another thing Zelensky also raised was the issue of Russian army recruiting citizens of India as members of its support staff and sending them to the battleground in Ukraine. The statement has also been raised by the Prime Minister himself in front of the President Putin that please release Indian soldiers, Indian citizens or Indian origin people from its army, to which Russia has obliged. Well, the important thing over here is, do you just compare the statements of Russia and compare the statements of Ukraine President during the visit and after the visit? Russia has played very nicely and it has supported India through, and it has left no opportunity for the West to be happy. Whereas what Ukraine president has done is it has to master up the skill for garnering support during the war for his own country and looking for the future imperatives. However, what he has done is he has only reiterated the statements that the Western nation has been saying for the past 1 and 2 years. That makes the point that who wanted these statements to be made in front of the Prime Minister. Nevertheless, coming to the next, what Prime Minister Modi said. Prime Minister said that his heart goes out to the families of children who lost their lives and he prayed that they find the strength to endure their grief. In fact, this thing is even being said by the Prime Minister in Russia. He said it right sitting in front of beside to the President Putin that his heart goes out whenever a child dies in the attack, and to please find the solution via a dialogue. Another thing he said was to the Zelensky that right from the first day our side was peace. Please don't understand that India is a neutral in this war. India is on the side of peace, which is very rightly the stance that but you have to understand why the Russia-Ukraine are fighting. There has been Western provocation in this for sure. However, India does not ever support this violent attack right from day one. That is very clear, and that is still the stand. So, When we say that we are on the side of peace, that is exactly what our stand is from the day one. And even if we go historically after the independence, this has been the thing that India has been continuously supportive of. And Prime Minister Modi has also emphasized that India is prepared to play a personal role to bring peace. This is a very important statement. However, let's see how the world has reacted to it and various experts have said to this thing. Well, the New York Times reported that Indian officials have said that they are not seeking any mediation role but will convey messages between Ukraine and Russia if requested. Well, New York Times, it has always been the thing of the Western media, especially the US media, that they have been not reporting the things which are likely in the favor of the world. However, they have been predicting few things which are only and only favoring their own stance, or let's say the American stance. Nevertheless, we know that what they want to say. Let's move to the next. It's extremely important for us to effectively build relations with such countries to explain to them what the correct end to the war is and that it is also in their interest. This was said by Zelensky's office right after the PM Modi's visit. So they have been whenever a reporter asks them about the thing that how do you feel that India's relation with Russia, they have always been saying that we want to build relation with other such countries who have an influence over the globe. Well, this statement is taken in a very welcoming stance. And moving to the next statement sent by the Michael Kugelman, who is also a geopolitical expert, he said that India isn't in the business of placating Western powers or anyone for that matter. It's a trip meant to advance Indian interest by reasserting friendship with Kyiv, that is Ukraine, and conveying its concerns about the continuing war. So, what in a nutshell, if I have to say how Western people are looking at this is that India wants to maintain a strategic autonomy and wants to be in good relation with all the countries, including the Ukraine and the Russia. But yes, India's relation with Russia have always been historically close. Everyone knows who stood by the side of the dictators when Pakistan attacked India and when we had faced aggressions from other countries, or let's say Pakistan time and again. So yeah, that's been a stance of India. However, even this whole guide reiterates that there should be no sidelines in these things, because killing of innocents can never be tolerated and can never be supported in any case, and which is rightly the stance of Indian government. And if you want to read the India-Ukraine relations in detail, how the historically relations have been progressed, please set to the link in bio, www.thesoulguide.co.in. The relation between India and Ukraine has been established right after the breaking of Soviet Union in 1992. So things have been progressing fine from then on, but however, after the Russia-Ukraine war, the defense deals and other trade has been declining sharply. Read more at the link in bio. Thank you. See you in another video.